Virginia basketball is back. The national champions begin their quest to defend their title on Wednesday, November 6th on the road in an early ACC game at Syracuse. Before the Hoos tip off their season, we've got a breakdown of this year's UVA roster and schedule. I'm Matt Newton, WUVA. As UVA celebrated its first national championship victory this summer, the off-season discussion about the program mostly centered on how much talent had departed from last year's team. Sure, the losses of DeAndre Hunter, Kyle Guy, Ty Jerome, and Jack Salt leaves gaping holes that will need to be filled, but there isn't nearly enough talk about the abundance of talented players who have opportunities to step up this season. Kihei Clark returns as one of the most experienced second-year point guards in the country, taking Ty Jerome's spot. Not to mention, Clark is one of the most stingy on-ball defenders in the country and showed great progress in his three-point shooting last season. With Mamadi Diakite back for his senior season, Virginia has a strong chance to have the ACC Defensive Player of the Year for the 5th time in the past 6 seasons. Diakite's shot-blocking ability is crucial to erase lapses in the pack line defense, but the expansion of Mamadi's offensive skill set will be more important as he continues to develop his inside game as well as become a threat from beyond the arc. Jay Huff is primed to have a breakout season as he is likely to step into the starting center spot. If he can stay out of foul trouble and play up to standard on defense, the minutes should be there for the dynamic 7-footer who shot 45% from beyond the arc last season. Braxton Key will likely get minutes at the 3 spot, but it might be difficult for Tony Bennett to have Key, Huff, and Diakite on the floor at the same time. Key, who was an excellent defender and rebounder last season, has worked hard on his inside finishing game and three-point shooting, and the hope is that he can resemble the offensive threat he was before he transferred from Alabama. The starting shooting guard position will likely be either freshman Casey Morsell, who many have tabbed as the most physically ready-to-play recruit Tony Bennett has had thus far, and sophomore Cody Statman, whose sharpshooting abilities will be crucial, granted he can keep up on the defensive end. A collection of role players will make appearances off the bench. Like Statman, Francisco Cafaro looked good in the FIBA U19 World Cup this summer, and he could be the next incarnation of Jack Salt as a strong center with major defensive upside. JUCO transfer Tomas Woldetense averaged 17 points a game and shot over 47% from 3 last season for Indian Hills, but his lethal shooting will only be utilized if Coach Bennett sees enough improvement on the defensive end. Finally, freshmen Justin McCoy and Caden Shedrick could see minutes off the bench as long athletic forwards. With the ACC moving to a 20-game conference slate, Virginia's schedule features more games against tougher opponents early on. The Cavaliers tip off the season at the Carrier Dome against ACC foe Syracuse. The Hoos play at Purdue in a rematch of the Elite Eight on December 4th, and have home games against Vermont and North Carolina all before New Year's. 2020 opens with a visit from the Hokies on January 4th before 2 games against Florida State in the span of 2 weeks. February is the gauntlet of Virginia's schedule, including trips to Louisville and North Carolina, and a home matchup against Duke, before the Hoos' regular season ends at home against Louisville again on March 7th. Despite tremendous roster turnover, this year's UVA team has the chance to be special once again, and I think Tony Bennett will do what he does best, win games. And I wouldn't be surprised if UVA is right in the thick of things at the beginning of March, to not only win the ACC regular season title for the 3rd consecutive year, but also to be a serious contender in postseason play.